Hello everyone, this is Silver Haired Gammo, and well, I don't know what to call this one, but it's Gammo's educational video. At the request of a viewer, I am going to do a video on the basics of what you need to get started, but right now, I've got two announcements. First of all, Frank P. Numismatics is back. His channel is back up and running, and if you were subscribed to him before, go back and resubscribe to him. He's back and raring to go. So I wanted to say that. Also, I want to give a little update. I put these dragons in the burnisher, and of course it's dreary. Say rain. See my neighbors over there? Yay! Anyway, got these in the burnisher. They came out really super shiny. You can see the luster on that. And look at the back. Mirror finish with lines. Let me put that one down. Show you another one. Of course, my tripod is in my thing. Shiny with lines. These lines, on one round they'll show up and on another round they won't. Same with the bar. I'm not sure how they're getting in there, but hey, more power to them. Got this out of focus, but you can see the shine. Back mirror shine, and there's no polish on these. These are straight out of the burnisher. I do not have polish on them. As you can tell, I don't know if you can tell now, it's starting to sprinkle. Crappy another weekend. Another look at my backyard. Alright, let me get ready to set this up downstairs, and we're going over the basics. Okay everybody, I'm back. I'm walk down the steps, get down to my basement. This is where my workshop is, and it's starting to be redone. I'm going to go ahead and shut the door because it's really humid out, and I don't want to listen to the noise. The reason why I'm doing this is a viewer of mine, actually of Zeke's, he had a question for Zeke, and so he wrote me, and he started asking me questions, and I said, you know, it'd be easier if I showed you videos on how to get things started, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's in my workshop. Right here, I have an empty cabinet right now, but I'm getting ready to fill it with my supplies, which you'll see everywhere. I'm getting ready to expand my little workshop. I'm going to end up having a bigger table over there, and a table over here with my tabletop furnace will be over here. That's my antique post office desk. But this is what some of the MAPP gas that I have used. I've got about 10 more upstairs. It is really expensive, and we're going to repaint the walls. This was from the last owner. So what is the basics you need to get started? And right now I'm going to show you one of the things you're going to need to get started is, like I showed you with the MAPP gas, I'm showing you the propane system. Now with the MAPP gas, I really love working with MAPP gas. These nozzles are extremely easy to use. I've done a video before where you just click this and it'll light, but it's extremely expensive. Here in Ohio, where I'm at, east of Columbus, and they're $11 a bottle, $10.98 a bottle, and so it gets really, really expensive. So you have to do some investigation and investigate on what type of gas you want to use. I had an acetylene torch, but I was banned from using it because I like to play with it, and so it's out in the back garage, which you saw earlier, and I use that when I'm outside. Make sure wherever you work, that's the first thing you want to do, is wherever your workstation is, make sure there's plenty of ventilation. I really do have a huge basement, and there's plenty of ventilation. There's windows everywhere, and as you can see, my door is right there. It's about 10 feet. Yeah, I'd say about 10 feet. I can open up that door, and there's a window there on the other side. I love how this basement is set up. So that's the first place you need, is where are you going to pour? You're going to pour outside in your garage. I personally have a basement, because everything else is in both of my garages. Do you want to do it in your house like me? Just make sure if you want to do it on your back porch. I think Hi Ho Silver started out on his back porch or something. He started outside. That's where he was doing his pouring. Just make sure there's plenty of ventilation. After that, like I said, you want to see what kind of system. I started off with the MAP gas. I love working with the MAP gas, but it was just too daggone expensive for me. Contrary to what my grandkids think, Gamel's not made of money. So I asked Losing Louie and Vulcan 5678 what they used. And so Vulcan, he said he was doing propane, and Louie said the same thing. And I watched Losing Louie's video where he was using a propane, and so I asked him where he got the nozzle kit, and he told me all about how easy it is. And this is what it is. You hook it to a regular propane, like you're having a gas grill. I've got a 15 pounder. Most of them I think sells 20 pounders. This is the nozzle for it. That's the hose. Everything comes together, and this is air fueled. It comes with one hose. It's got your gauges. I don't know if I can get a close up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, this will tell you how much pressure is in the tank. This will tell you your air pressure, and this is how you control your air pressure. I got mine up all the way. Almost all the way, I should say. You'll gauge how you want it. So that's one of the things. So I really do have 3 sources. That's my little heater I had down here when I was in the winter. I have 3 sources of so far the types of heat I want to use. And like I said, I got a table going on that'll be over there with my tabletop furnace when I get it in. And secondly, you want to have your own space. Like I said, make sure it's well ventilated, but make sure you have space. The next thing you're going to need to decide, and it's the most expensive thing you're going to need, and that is your silver shot. Now, I always get shot. Well, I've finally had to reorder. I ordered in 100 ounces earlier this year. I've been playing. I gave most of it away as far as gifts or whatever. But you have to decide how much in shot you want, because this is not a cheap hobby. So I never melt down rounds. I know a lot of people do. And it's your preference. If you want to go ahead and buy cheap rounds, or if you want to buy shot, that's going to be probably the most expensive. After that, and what type of heat source you want to use, I recommend the propane system. Louis says he does up to 20 ounces of silver with it, and he doesn't have a problem. Of course, I don't work with anything that big. Y'all know 5 ounces is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. But I recommend it. It is easy to use. The next is how you want to pour. I, of course, use the whip and crucible. I do not use the tabletop kiln. I know a tabletop kiln can go anywhere between $400 and $1,000. I never was interested in doing that, although I am getting a tabletop furnace in that actually looks like an oven, because I've got delicate things that I want to do and I can't do it normally. So I'm going to do it in the furnace, but there are people who love their tabletop kiln, which takes a different type of crucible. It takes an actual graphite crucible. This is a silica ceramic. These come in from China. This one is the 150 gram one. You can get 250 gram, 350 gram, 400 gram, 450, 500, 550, 700, 750 gram. They range, I know from the 150 gram you can get, well, this series I got on sale for $1.89. I got 8 of them for $1.89 a piece, free shipping. I get them on eBay. They're like $2.30 with free shipping on eBay, like $2.36 a piece, all the way up to $14, $15 for the 500 gram crucibles, which are really, really huge, and you need a what is called a whip that'll handle that. This is a small whip. It's not very long. It's probably about 9 inches, maybe 8 inches. It's not very long. That's what I use. I am going to get a larger whip because I am going to get a 450 gram crucible in, and which is about 11 inches long, 10, 11. And the grips on these, on the big ones, are bigger and a little shaped a little different. Next thing you're going to need to start up, like I said, is decide how you want to pour. Going this way, this is what I personally use. If you look on YouTube, there's different ways of pouring. Some people use the Delft clay method, which I'm getting that in because I like playing with the clay. I think it's fun. But for right now, this is what I'm using. Another thing you might want to think about is I had this table made. My son made it. But as far as the bricks, these are just regular bricks, and I suggest getting fire bricks, which I am. I have been lucky so far that nothing's happened, but you don't want regular house bricks like this. You want a fire brick. Some people use pavers if you want to go that route, but this I would recommend highly, highly, highly. I have been so lucky to not have anything happen. Highly recommend fire brick. Then the next thing, you got your shot, you got the way you want to fire. I was just having some sort of table. I just had this made. The style, the whips, the small whip is anywhere between $5.30 to $6. The larger whips are around $12 to $15. And so you got your style that you want to do, how you want to fire it up, where you're going to work. You're going to need molds. Now, this is the Mini Dragon one. This was around with shipping, I think it was around $32. But I have molds here. Let me see. The Broken Dragon mold. This one's broken. This was around, I think this one was $66. My Wizard mold, $72. I do have one mold that was like $10. That was the only one. The rest of them, I haven't been able to get a mold for less than really $30. And I'm getting ready to order in a couple molds where they're like $78. So you have to decide on what kind of mold. I got this little mold here. This is 3/4 ounce bar. You know, this is a little less than a ½ ounce. Same with the circles. You know, they're very small. Even this, I think, was $29 without shipping. So you have to decide on what kind of mold you want and how much, because this is not a cheap hobby. I'm letting everybody know this is not a cheap hobby, but it is fun as heck. I love playing with it. The scale that has troy ounces on it, scale is absolutely necessary. Oh yeah, a striker for your flame thing, and I'll show you how to work that. You want a scale. One of the things I love, people think I'm nuts, is I love my canned air. And I'm going to show you why. If you've got stuff on your table, I don't know if you can see it, it'll just blow it off. But I got stuff in my mold here, right here. That's because I'm in the basement, and I guess when you walk, I've got to put my drop ceiling in, but voila. It's gone. I just like to give everything a brush off, and that's the quickest way to do it. Let's see, we got the crucible, we got that. Oh, and you want a pan for water. I got an old stainless steel big old measuring thing. I change the water on it twice a week, so that way you can quench. And then I've also got, now people use crucible tongs. I've seen people use wrenches, pliers. I've got these stainless steel tongs from my kitchen. I used to use this for my spaghetti. So, and that's what I use. So that way when the molds are hot, you can grab it, you know. Plus it helps because if you want to get something out, I could bang the tongs instead of all the weight going on the mold to get silver out. So that's basically it. You want some shop towels? Whoops. You want some shop towels? Because you never rub your silver when it's wet. Never rub. Always pat. Always pat, pat, pat. Pat, pat, pat. And you won't get no watermarks. I haven't gotten a watermark either yet. So, and of course, I do have my leather gloves right here. You guys can see my mess, and that's why, you know, these are my leather gloves. I do have them, Zeke. I do have these gloves. But a lot of times I can't feel what I'm doing, so. And if you want to stamp it, stampers are not cheap, and these were the cheap ones, and trust me, it's coming out that way. So I am getting another one. But you can get stampers between $30 to $120. You know, if you want to stamp those. I've also got these stampers here, if I can grab them. I got these stampers here. These were about $9 a piece. Got these from Impress Art. So I got all of them from Impress Art. If you go to Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby's carrying it now. A lot of this, some of the stuff you can get from Hobby Lobby. I got regular hammers over there to use stampers with. You can get a regular stamping hammer. That's my granddaughter's seat when she comes down, and that's where she sits, all the way over there. Yeah, that's the basics you need to get started. And so to help you along, I'll get things ready to glaze the crucible with the borax, and then I'll answer the rest of those questions on that. So I'll be right back. Okay, that was quick. Alright, this is what you do. Let me take this out. Every once in a while you'll want to change your whips. I got 2 of them. I just ordered another 2. Because if you fire it up, you'll have pieces of your whip coming out. And I know the subscriber told me he bought, throw trash away, he bought a whip set with crucibles, and they had a graphite rod, and he said he didn't know what to do with it. And I told him, I was like, that's mainly for jewelry making, but I want to show you something. And I don't necessarily have my pour spout straight to the side because of how I do mine. I've always at an angle. But you know, you put your little crucible in there. It feels like ceramic. I'll show you how to glaze it. But really quick, this piece here of silver, I had right here, you can tell a piece of the whip fall in to my silver. And I was like, crap. So I used this, and I ended up getting that piece out, but as you can see, I also took pieces of silver. So I went ahead and poured it, cooled it off, reweighed it, and had to add more. But that would be a good thing what that graphite stick is for. And I actually ordered one after I did that. So, but mainly the graphite stick is for jewelry making. So, right now, I'm going to show you how to glaze the crucible. I have... I'm sure you're all looking at my face. That's all right. Borax. You can buy it in the laundry aisle. It's cheap. There's enough straight up borax in there to do its job. You can also order borax off of eBay. Almost everything I've got here comes off of eBay. My whips, my crucibles, my molds, except for the ones that I have personally made for me, the stampers, but I got, like I said, my other stampers from Impress Art. Shine Bright, go to Wired Up Beads for your tumbler. If you want to tumble it, I tumble mine. I don't use polish. I've never used any polish yet. You saw at the beginning of the video. Those things, my stuff comes out that shiny because of proper preparation of my Silver Shot and because of the tumbler. But like when I do my hamburger, yeah, I'm gonna have to use polish because you can't put solder in water. So you know, this right here is just the basic setup. So let's get to glazing the crucible so you know what to do. First thing you want to do is heat up the crucible as hot as you can get it. Look. Now you want to heat the crucible up so hot that the crucible turns red. I don't know if you can see that on video, I tried, but you can definitely see it with the naked eye. And after it turns red, I still heat it up a little more. I want this thing piping hot. Okay, you may have seen a tinge of red there. So what I do is I put my borax in a cup. Let me make sure I didn't move the camera that bad. And make sure you can see there. Okay. Alrighty, so what I do is I just take a pinch of the borax and I just put it where I want it. You just lightly. And let me get it near the microphone. Maybe you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, but I know one thing. This crucible is hot as heck. And you just put it... Man, that's hot. And you just put it where you want it. I just take a little tiny pinch and just kind of rub it. And you'll be able to see where it lands because getting it that hot will make it bubble up. And the hotter you make it, the bigger the bubbles and the less you'll have to use. But I make sure I do cover every inch. And this crucible, ow, does get hot and it does emanate some major heat. And voila. I'm gonna let you look at it. Okay. We've done this before. Alrighty. See the bubbles? I don't know if it'll come in focus. But you see how it bubbled. Now what you want to do is you want to cook it into the crucible. So let me widen this out and let's cook her in. Alrighty. Maybe. I'm beginning to think my nozzle don't like me. Alright. Let's cook it in. That cooked in very nicely. You'll know it's done right because it'll all be shiny. That's how you glaze the crucible. Now sometimes you'll put the borax in, you'll glaze it, and you'll be like, oh crap. You can still put more borax in there if you need to. Just take a little pinch, put it in there, and cook it again. It's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, it looks like it's pretty well done in. So, pretty much that's the basics. I hope that was helpful, especially to the one viewer of mine. And I'm actually going to be doing a series of Gamel's educational workshop where we discuss procedures, what you can do, newfangled things, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm actually having it on my website. Only a few people knew, and I might as well tell you I'm having a website made. So that way, if people want to see pouring videos, or if they want to order something, you know, they can go through there. So that way I can get back to, I can have that part of it, and then the YouTube I'll have for my coin collecting, because I love my Forgotten City series and the Greek mythology, Greek creatures of mythology series, things like that. And so I love showing my little collections off. So yeah. So I hope this was educational for some people. And if anybody has any more questions, just give me a holler and I'll try to do the best I can to answer it. So for right now, though, I hope everybody does have a great day, a great night, and we'll talk later.